Last time on RadicalSoda's Sword and Shield Review.
Get it over with!
It's like a roller coaster.
My Pokemon caught Pokerus. What the hell? If you don't know what Pokerus is, it's essentially a Pokemon virus that allows Pokemon to grow more quickly than normal. Or as you Pokemon fan dudes and dudettes out there would say, gain EVs at an accelerated rate. The chance of one of your Pokemon becoming afflicted with Pokerus after a battle is around 1 in 20,845. For reference, finding a shiny Pokemon is something like 1 in 4,000. To be honest, I'd rather have a shiny. With all the vitamins you can pump into your Pokemon nowadays, who the hell needs Pokerus? Anyway, I need some more Pokemon. A few of mine have gone to live on a farm where they'll be much happier. So it's off to the final places I haven't encountered a wild Pokemon yet. First up, Route 6. Oh. That's the most Dingustin thing I ever seen. I decided to use some candies to make Comb and Dingustin evolve. Comb looks great, and hopefully Dingustin turns out a little better than he does now. Like a poo peeking out of an anus. Lastly, there was this giant Bronzong I found, which I called Beefy Boy. And that's it, my final team, all ready for the Elite Four. If there is an Elite Four, I haven't heard a hide nor hair of any sort of final group, and all the other gym leaders not on the League Challenge are plot-wise smaller and weaker than the ones I've already fought. I suppose there's the other gym challenges, but the only ones who've made it this far are Hop and Marnie. Well, we'll have to see, I guess. Even Sun and Moon had an Elite Four, and they didn't even have a proper gym challenge. Anyway, we've got Comb, the Center Scorch, Dingustin, the shit coming out of a butthole, Thinky, the Stunfisk, Chumley, the Barbaracle, Pistachio, the Scary Gorilla Man, and Abomination, the Abomination. We're all set, let's head on in. Thought I'd buy a few sodas, seeing as there was a vending machine here, but in true Pokemon fashion, you still can't buy multiple of these things at once, and it takes like 10 seconds to get a single one. Also, at this point in the game, my Pokemon have far too much HP for me to actually be using Lemonade. It makes me wonder if there was a vending machine in a previous earlier in town I could have used. I didn't see any Moo Moo Milk sellers either, I just realized, but that's probably because Miltank isn't coded into the game. So it looks like there's 8 challenges, if this chart on the wall is anything to go by, and judging by what I said before, yep, we're up against Marnie. She gets a remix of her theme for this fight, which is nice, however her team is pretty weak as always. She uses a Gigantamax Grimmsnarl as her final Pokemon, which is pretty dang cool. I really like its design, but its G-Max move, which I'm guessing is just like a special Z Dynamax move thing, was G-Max Snooze, which puts you to sleep. I'd been poisoned by her Toxicroak just before though, so I took it out with a single attack without falling asleep. She just accepts that she's lost without a single care. I mean, everything she's worked so hard for is now down the shitter, but whatever, right? The next challenger I'll be facing is, of course, Hop, who also gets his own special remix. But I'm just feeling more and more sorry for him with every battle. We're at the very end of the game, and still, no one is switching out their Pokemon to gain an advantage. They're just letting me set up over and over. Anyway, a couple of Calm Minds, Light Screens, and Reflects later, and we're quickly dispatching every Pokemon he throws out. He sends out his Dynamax Dinteleon, but oh no, Max Darkness! Yeah, it's a fucking joke at this point. Hop at least shows some sort of emotion. He thanks me for beating him, and I'll be honest, it was a little bit bittersweet here. Like, I'll talk a little bit more about that later. Anyway, we're on to the finals. The finals with fight against the champion. They said finals though. There's more than one, so I guess they've got some other trainers up their sleeve they haven't told me about yet. Anyway, Leon invites us out for dinner before that, though, so we head on back to the hotel to get ready before that. What? Leon invites us out for dinner before that, though, so we head on back to the hotel to get ready. The reporters appear a final time here, although instead of battling, they just asked me some questions. I'll be honest, Hop was standing right next to me, and I was just trying to make him feel better. Fuck, I'm a pansy. Video games make you violent, my ass. And Hop, they really weren't rude questions. If that's rude, my dude, you need to find some tood, you prude. So we wait for Leon in the lobby, but he's running really late. Hop starts to get worried because apparently the guy who gets lost all the time and as a result his late places is never this late. Piers, however, comes on in to inform us that he's being held up at Rose Tower as he has a meeting with the chairman. Hop asks Piers if he can take us there because we don't know the way. Oh bullshit, there's 4 areas in this town and we've already been to 3 of them. The city's the size of a Walmart. Piers accepts, however, and he invites Team Yell along as he knows security will be tight. I never got this part of the story. If Hop knows that Leon is in an important meeting, Why the heck is he trying to break into the tower? Just let your brother have the meeting and meet you later. You know what he's doing now. What a stupid reason to have us go there to learn only a very subtle hint that Chairman Rose is doing something suspicious. Ooh, I wonder if he's to be trusted or not. Gee, they definitely won't try to sneak a surprise villain on us right at the end of the game again. Marnie comes along too for some reason. Oleana actually appears outside as well, stating again that Leon's in a very important meeting with the chairman. P.S. He's the fucking chairman. You could lose your friggin' job. Actually, I don't think he'd really care all that much, would he? Oleana then proceeds to tell us exactly who's keeping a hold of the tower key. Have you been hit with a simple beam or something, Oleana? Learned that one from Bede. Missed that guy. Why in the world would you tell this ragtag group how to get into the tower you don't want them getting into? That'd be like me not wanting people to like this very video that we're in and then making sure that in excruciating detail I tell them exactly where the like button is and how to get to it and that it's down below the video, and also that it would help the channel out greatly if they would do that. Please, just help a guy out. I mean, my Patreon's in the description below. Then she proceeds to tell us that the employee she's given the key to looks different to every other employee. I find it both funny and infuriating that they actually worked in their fucking incompetence to create more than one model for each NPC class. This guy only has minuscule changes anyway. What he has black shades? Is that it? You know, everyone always goes on about how Nurse Joy has tons of sisters because they all look exactly the same. What about these employees' brothers and sisters? The gym trainers' brothers and sisters, the goddamn lasses' sisters, the youngsters' brothers, the dancers' sisters. The list goes on. Usually, I don't care about this sort of stuff. But we're 6 years into 3D Pokemon. You'd think there'd be some improvement. Different hairstyles, colors, eyes, clothes, heck, make a working character creator and just use that. Heaps of other games use the character creators to make NPCs. Skyrim, Final Fantasy XIV, Monster Hunter. I'm sure there's other examples. Have you noticed that my writing's become just a little bit fatigued? I'm running on pure hatred now. So we're back in the plaza so we can find this dude with the key. There's a few other employees scattered around, so we have to find the right one. Not that you need to do anything other than run up to each one and press A. The game tells you when you found him. Once you have, you battle him, of course, although when he loses, he doesn't give you the key. Instead, he just runs away. If beating him in a battle doesn't get you the key, then nothing else will. It's not like we're gonna beat his ass up. Guess it's time for Game Freak's old Patton to chase the NPC until he's decided that you've fucked around for long enough to get the story moving again, minigame. The final hiding spot was actually pretty good. He's inside a phone booth, which took me a while to find. It was surprisingly funny. Marnie is there in each fight in the background cheering you on, and you can respond with answers, I guess. Not like any will negatively impact you or anything, so just pick whatever. The employee runs off yet again, this time into the station. I think it's a station. I'm very tired. He lines up with a bunch of identical twins, and instead of doing the obvious thing and just pointing out which one is him, that being the one they obviously showed running into the line, this is making less and less sense as time goes on. No, Piers decides that this would be a good time to start singing. As I just said, less and less sense. He's doing a street performance to bring down the people upstairs, pushing the employee dudes away. They look really enthusiastic and also very solid. They are definitely not clipping through each other here. Pathetic. So Marnie just stands there, or she gets the key. How did she get the key by just standing there? It just goes to show how basic the animation is if they needed text boxes to show something like a character grabbing something, if they show it at all. So here we are at Rose Tower. Hop says he can't even see the top because it's in the clouds. Yeah, sure. So Hop and I enter the building. Hop says how huge it is again. Hop, it's no bigger than the fucking stadium entrance. Shut the fuck up. All you're doing is making it clear that the game does not reflect the dialogue. An employee comes out of the elevator ready to battle. Is it the same one as before? Nope, but nobody told Game Freak that. I don't know what I meant by saying that. That's just, I must have been really tired. We battle him, and the battle music here is kind of like a happy, empowering theme. A really odd choice for this section. Isn't it supposed to be like a mission or something where it's dangerous? We're breaking the law here, you know. The man pays up, like every other trainer in the game, although apparently now he's dangerously low on money. Way to make me feel bad for this guy. And now he won't get his bonus. He won't be able to buy a house in the future. Man, I guess the giant multi-billion-dollar companies in Pokemon pay about just as much as they do in the real world. Actually, this guy had some extra money there until I took it. They probably actually pay more in the game. Our system is screwed up, man. I bet the Game Freak employees aren't paid much of anything either. Or maybe they are. The budget for these games is so tiny and the profit is so astronomical. What do I know? Maybe they paid the big bucks, but I fucking doubt it. All I hear again and again is that people working on video games, the animators, the modelers and all that shit, the artists, they get paid fucking threepence because they're doing it for the love of video games. Shut up. Shut up. Fucking bitches getting their $1 billion, $1 million fucking bonuses and leaving people fucking trying to Pagic. So we take this big elevator up, but it's stopped by more employees. They say we don't have a right to enter this building, and yeah, they're completely right, and I'm all about sticking it to the man and all that, but right now what we're trying to do is find Leon, and we already know what he's doing, and if our characters trust Chairman Rose, then there's no reason to do this. Unless Chairman Rose has been doing something villainous all along? Nah, that would be silly. They did that in Sun and Moon, they definitely won't be doing that again. Like the other things they've been doing again from Sun and Moon. Hey, if they're going to reuse animations, it's pretty obvious that story segments aren't exactly out of bounds either. I also thought that I'd mention that all of these employees use Steel-type Pokemon, making it incredibly easy just to take them all out with a Fire-type. I used Comb pretty much through all these battles. Hop also heals your Pokemon after each battle, which, I mean, we've beaten all the gyms, why are they still acting like you're in the goddamn tutorial? What if in Final Fantasy X, spoilers here, every time you fought an enemy inside Sin, your party was healed up to full? Wouldn't that make things a tad easier, don't you think? Games are fun because you can overcome obstacles. That's why games like Dark Souls feel rewarding. You've beaten something very challenging. I'm not saying Pokemon has to be fucking Dark Souls or anything like that, but this is easy even for Pokemon. This is like healing your Pokemon for you in between every member of the Elite Four. Well, maybe not that far. Even Sun and Moon didn't do that. I doubt this game will do anything like that here. It'll still provide us with a challenging final round of trainers in which we will have to really try in order to win, I'm sure. So I guess Game Freak really wanted us to learn about the Rose Tower because every trainer you defeat here tells you something different about it. Like this lady here, she's all huffy from losing, but still tells us that this tower is taller than 100 Machoke. Okay. Actually, is that correct even? 500 feet, 100 Machoke? Machoke is 1.5 meters? Oh wait, they use that idiot's way of measuring, of course. 4 foot 11 inches. So 100 of those is 492 feet. I mean, it's close enough. Just wonder why that lady knows Machoke's height off by heart. Well, I'm gonna know it off by heart too now. At least I learned something today. You know, I just want to point something out. Hop says that the tower is so tall that it reaches the clouds. It's only 500 feet tall. Clouds sit way higher than 100 Machoke standing on top of one another. I mean, here in New Zealand, we have the Sky Tower, and that thing's over 300 meters, or over 1,000 feet for all you silly billies out there. I don't see it touching any clouds. After the battle, we're finally at the top. I think. Apparently we're at the top, but the chairman and Leon aren't here, only Liana. And she flips a little bit, challenging us to a Pokemon battle. At this point, I really wonder why anyone's bothering to challenge us. Everyone already knows we're the second strongest trainer out there. It seems a bit silly if you ask me. Anyway, Oleana's theme is pretty good. She doesn't put up much of a fight, but she does have a Gigantamax Garbodor. I never understood why the boat on it is a toy boat, though, or why it has a lot of toys in general on it. Shouldn't it just be trash? I just checked Cerebi. Apparently the Pokédex states that the toxic gases it produces when it Gigantamaxes become much thicker, congealing into masses shaped like discarded toys. That's fucking stupid. It doesn't make any amount of sense. What were they thinking with this one? Of course, the one time they give Garbodor a second chance, they fuck it up. He's not even that big. A fucking Gigantamax Pikachu looks bigger than this thing. Although, as we already know, Garbodor is the only Pokemon in the game that isn't Gen 1 or Gen 8 to actually get a Gigantamax. I guess they had an idea for Muck, and then they just didn't put him in the game or something, so they gave it to Garbodor instead. So we beat Oleana, and she slumps into a depression. Hey girl, don't say that. You're a strong, sexy woman. In fact, I bet you're so loved in the fan community that people have created some great, empowering illustrations of you. Oh, maybe don't go looking for those. That's right, Hop. Typical Big Thick. If you notice a difference in audio from here on, from me, anyway, it's because I'm recording this at a later date. Thanks for understanding. I probably sound better than I did before. We run past Oleana to see, oh, come on, they were not there before. Even if they were, they would have seen the huge fucking Pokemon fighting. So a small cutscene occurs here, or a couple of illustrations. Now, this is the first time they've used illustrations to make a cutscene, and I'm guessing that's because they didn't have a town modeled as big as the one in the illustration. Or the lighting for the scene, as you can see, it's not even remotely similar. Anyway, Chairman Rose says he's going to change the course of history, yada yada yada. Oh wow, it's almost like he's plotting an evil scheme, oh boy! So the next morning, an employee finds us at the hotel to escort us to the stadium for the finals. Hop threatens her with his Inteleon's big sausage-like fingers, but she says no, she's a good employee, meaning the others are bad? No way! There's no villain in Pokemon Sword and Shield! I'm so fucking done. This is so stupid. Here we are in the waiting room for the finals, and all the gym leaders are here. That's surprisingly unsurprising. I was wondering what sort of final battles there would be, and seeing as there isn't an Elite Four, bringing back the gym leaders is the obvious, easy choice. I'm just wondering who will be fighting. Here we go, running onto the empty pitch, or the pitch with Leon standing on it, teleporting in as usual, I guess. Anyway, it's on to the first battle, but first, Bede storms in asking for a battle. Finally, he's back, and he's got the Fairy Gym Trainer outfit on. He explains to the crowd about why he's here and that he's going to stake everything on one final battle. If he loses, he'll retire from battling, and if he wins, well, he's just beaten one of the strongest trainers out there, so, you know, that's a thing. And am I looking forward to this? Bede opens his eyes wide, revealing a fucking shine that wasn't there before. He's also a gym leader now, and gets ready to fight with his new remixed battle theme. Wait, what, he doesn't get a remix? But Marnie and Hop did, and Bede is way more important than silly old Marnie. Oh, bullshit. And hang on, he's a gym leader, but he doesn't get a cool new costume? Double bullshit. Fuck it, it's Bede. He's the best rival in years. Let's see what he's got now. First, he sends out Morwile, which would be a good pick if I hadn't had Comb out in front first. However, of course, he doesn't switch out to something better. Even if he did, there's not much he could do against the fire type. Next up is Gardevoir. It goes down pretty easily, and then Bede sends in his Ponyta, which has now evolved into a Rapidash. Glad to see he's still got his old Pokemon. Now all that's missing is his Reuniclus, Hatterene, and Gothitelle. Oh, he's only got 4 Pokemon. Darn. His final Pokemon is the Hatterene, as would make sense, Fairy-type and all, but his poor Duosion and Gothorita. Duosion. Why do they make these Pokemon names so hard to pronounce? His poor Duosion and Gothorita. He doesn't even get them back in the rematches. Instead, he gains a Sylveon. Ugh. The most generic Fairy-type out there. I like Sylveon well enough, but dang, if you want a trainer to be challenging, at least give them more than one type. What I've been thinking about for a future Pokemon game is giving gym leaders a theme rather than a type. For instance, cute, evil, the color red. Like, if the gym leader really liked, I don't know, big Pokemon, the gym leaders could consist of, like, Snorlax, Steelix, Gyarados, Colossal, Abomasnow, Wailord. You know what, forget it. Big Pokemon, it wouldn't work. Bede Gigantamaxes his Hatterene, and for some reason I switched out into Chumley. I guess the Mystical Fire Gardevoir had me on edge. Holy shit, it actually used Max Flare. I completely forgot about that. Anyway, I used Dig to stall out the Gigantamax, and easy as. So Bede loses. As he said, he now wants to retire, but the audience, as a collective, I guess, says to him, "Hey Bede, that was some match. Don't retire, just restart your career." So he continues his training as the Fairy-type gym leader. So much for that plotline, but heck, at least it spiced things up a bit. After that, the game heals up our Pokemon. God damn it, this is essentially the Elite Four, is it not? And we're up against Nessa! She's a better team this time around, of course, consisting of Golisopod, Barraskewda, Sea King... Did I say this team was better? Pistachio, this isn't really the time to want to be pet. She also has a Pelipper, and finally, a Gigantamax to Dreadnought. And that's that! Not many issues there either, but that's kind of what happens when you've got a well-rounded team. I, of course, don't, but I just picked the grass starter. The next challenger up is Alistair. He beat Melanie, probably because he's a child, so she couldn't distract him with her
Giga-thick thighs.
He starts out by sending out Dusk Noir, then a Chandelure, very nice, a Poltegeist, which surprisingly knows Giga Drain. Are you goddamn kidding me? Then Gustin really got walloped there. Rip my dick off, then Gustin. He's... Rip my dick off, then Gustin? What? Why is it in the script? He's got a Cursola, which promptly bit the dust, and of course his Gengar, which he Gigantamaxes again. I like the way this whole thing's set up, actually. The fact that you don't know who you're going to fight, unlike the other Elite Four, keeps things fresh, and it gives you a little bit of anxiety, especially if you're doing a Nuzlocke and you send out a bad type matchup first. I also think it's great that it changes up every time you play the game. For example, so far I've got Nessa and Alistair, and my final fight before the champion looks like it's Raihan! This whole system they've got going on here is actually really neat, and I hope they change it up in every game from now on. Okay, I'm lying through my teeth again. The order doesn't change on subsequent playthroughs. It doesn't even change in between the two games. B and Alistair swap in, but it plays out exactly the same every time. Bede, Nessa, Alistair, or B, and then Raihan. These are Elite Four, folks. It's really no different than any other Pokemon game after all. Should have been Pierre's if you ask me. He was fought sooner than Raihan, and it would have been great to see him doing his non-Dynamaxing thing instead of fucking Raihan again, because we literally just fought him. What's the point? Raihan does have a pretty different team compared to last time, the only one sticking around being the Flygon and Duraludon. By the way, Flygon still hasn't got a special form. Everyone was wanting a Mega for him, but that didn't happen because apparently they weren't creative enough. Fucking you got me there. I was thinking maybe they'd possibly create a Gigantamax for him, but, well, you know, say it with me.
The only Gigantamax Pokemon not from Generation 108 is Garbodor.
Raihan sends out Torkoal, and as per with his irregular weather strategy, it becomes sunny, thus making fire moves more powerful. Thankfully, I still have Chumley, who is super effective to fire in every single way. Why does it know Solar Beam, Chumley?! I never thought I could get this attached to a Barbaracle, but hey, here we are. I guess it's time to send out the next Pokemon to take care of this Torkoal. Uh-oh. All my Pokemon left are weak to fire. Apart from Comb, the Torkoal can probably learn Rock Slide or some stupid shit. I'm gonna have to Dynamax Thinky here and hopefully one-shot it. Raihan then sends out his Flygon, and Thinky almost kicks the bucket here, but thankfully he lives with a little bit of health. Goodra's next. Oh shit, that's super effective. But also very weak. Alright then. Lastly, of course, this is Gigantamax Duraludon. I've already used up my Dynamax, so, shit. Thankfully, he isn't doing that much damage here, but he keeps using Max Knuckle, which raises his attack stat, meaning it's very dangerous to keep thinking, and thankfully I do have a Pokemon who completely resists fighting-type moves, and that gives me the time needed to stall out the Gigantamax. And boom, there we go, piece of cake! After the battle, Hop discusses with us that because we'll be fighting his brother next, he doesn't know who to cheer for. And Talion thinks that that's a load of bollocks, and he's all like, what? However, thanks to that friggin' Torkoal taking out Chumley, I no longer have a Pokemon for Charizard, which I know is Leon's Gigantamax. Thankfully, I can just leave and not bother battling him. Yeah, I can just leave. Seems a bit weird, especially since he's waiting for me. I decide that it's time for Waddles to prove his worth. I take him down to the wild area so I can evolve him. There was a Gigantamax Butterfree here, so I sent out Comb to deal with it. Of course, I have a goddamn Magikarp and Togepi on my team. For shit's sake, this is a 5-star raid here! Unfortunately, as I said before, raids are absolute bullshit, and Butterfree one-shots Comb with a flying-type move. Great! I loved him, and now he's gone. Gone forever, and I can never get him back. Wait, hang on a second. Wait, what? He's been given a new chance of life? Wow! I never thought... Oh, sure, just kill him again. That's fine then. There was actually one last area I hadn't even caught anything yet, apparently. The tower over by the west side. Dusclops was there, and even though I wouldn't be able to evolve him, I caught him anyway. I was going to call him Jerry Seinfeld, but there's a 12-letter limit for some reason, so I just gave him a little duck face. So I started leveling up Waddles and Duckface. Waddles would be a good choice for the Charizard, as he's the same type as Chumley. And I'm also not exactly sure how Gigantamaxing works, but every time I've been fighting Dynamax Pokemon, I've been getting these Dynamax candies, and I'm assuming if you use them to get your Pokemon's Dynamax level up to the max, you'll be able to do Gigantamax. And so we'll also have a Gigantamax Waddles, as opposed to what Nessa did with her Dreadnought. And here we are, all set, ready to take on the champion. It took poor Comb's life to get us leveled up enough to be where we are here right now, but there's one thing I know, and that's that we will beat the champion. Wait, what, cutscene? You're kidding. I'm not fighting the champion, right? What? How dare you? I lost my goddamn comb thanks to you, you son of a bitch, Rose. Could have been for something, but now he's dead for no reason at all. What's that? You're bringing back the darkest day? But that's something a villain would do. Who could have seen this coming? Hop proceeds to get depressed again. Hop, I thought we were past this. Just fucking try, dude. And he comes up with the idea of searching for the legendary Pokemon in the slumbering world. So we head back home to find Sonia talking to her mum about the darkest day. Sonia gives us some max revives. Useful as always, Sonia. Alright, so if I'm going to be catching a legendary Pokemon here, I can't be running into any other Pokemon, so we'll use a Repel to get rid of all the encounters. Well, I caught him. Motherflucker. Well, folks, it's that time again. That's right, time for another one of RadicalSoda's Pokemon Reviews! We're up to Hatena. I don't really like Hatena's design all that much. I'm not sure exactly what it's meant to be, and quite frankly, I don't care. I like Hatterene a lot more. I think it's very cute, and the way it's a physically focused psychic type is really cool. Love Hatterene's design too, however, it was at this point I realized that even though the game was trying to get me to put physical moves on my Hatterene, its special attack was higher than its physical attack. I don't really understand the point of telling us how it likes to smash foes with its hair if we're just going to be using Dazzling Gleam and Psychic over and over like every other psychic Pokemon. Galarian Wheezing is all alone here, yet no Galarian Coughing here, folks. I don't know why they wouldn't have just colored him grey and made his smoke green, but hey, that's Pokemon Sword and Shield for you. At least Marowak turning ghost type sort of made sense. This is just weird. Wheezing's design is alright though, and more inventive than the regular one. Cufant is a cute little thing. I would have actually used him on my team if Copperaja wasn't such a square. Literally, I don't like how blocky he is, and just wait for the Gigantamax version. Oh, ho, ho. I've spoken a little bit about Cramorant, but I pretty much like him. The green eyes are a bit odd, but apart from that, I like his design well enough. And we already have a Pelipper as a water flying bird, but I think he stands out enough to, be a unique Pokemon with his ability. Toxel is a baby lizard thing. Don't like it at all. Fucking, it's got a nappy and everything. It's always looking pissed off. At least Toxtricity looks really cool. I love the purple and yellow. The blue and purple a little less, a lot less. I do appreciate the attention to detail. The low-key form is like an electric bass with only 4 strings as opposed to the electric guitar amped form with 6. Good stuff there. Silicobra looks like a sperm who has swam through shit. Sandaconda has swam through even more shit. Who colored these things? And who gave Silicobra the gunk under his eyes? Look, I'm gonna redesign these two real quick. There. Any better? Yamask, I thought for a while, hadn't changed at all. I'd only been able to see it on Route 6 or whatever it's on. I thought it looked a bit weird, and that was because its eye color had changed. It's fine, I guess. I prefer the original, but what are you going to do? I'm going to try to see Runerigus, is that it? Runerigus? As its own Pokemon, however, just because it's so different from Confagrigus. Did I say that right? Confagrigus? Yep. Runerigus is, it's interesting. I don't have the urge to put it on my team or anything, but it's interesting. Ponyta and Rapidash, they're fine. They're definitely not as interesting as their regular versions. They're for the My Little Pony fans, I guess. Everyone was hoping for a Pegasus Rapidash finally, but fuck, just give it more hair. Sinistea is a ghost in a cup. very cute. Can't say anything much about it, though. Poltergeist is cute, too. Never really thought it looked very Pokemon-y, but whatever, it's fine as well. Not for me, but heck, I like Klefki, so my opinion doesn't really matter that much. And that's it for RadicalSoda's Pokemon review for now. Speaking of wheezing, here he is now, given a reason as to why the slumbering weald is so foggy, I guess. I thought it was a legendary mystical mist, but nope, just wheezing over here. Honestly, this place was so friggin' boring, I just tried to get to the end as quickly as possible, where Hop was waiting for me. The 2-box legendaries suddenly appear out of the fog, one of them says, "Reeled," whatever that means. Just play the sound clip, Game Freak, don't try to onomatopoeia that shit. And then they just kinda disappear. Okay, heading into the next area, we find that insanely thick fog has completely disappeared in a matter of seconds. Okay! We find the rusted shield and rusted sword. I pick up the shield because I don't get a choice. Yet another way this game could have been a single game. Just give us the choice of which relic we want to pick, and that's that. Once we get to Hammerlock, which is where all this shit seems to be emanating, we head into the Dragon Gym again to see... That is not how you animate pacing back and forth. Are you actually fucking kidding me? Seriously, they're just gonna leave like... They're just gonna... Ow, I bit my tongue. Like, that's a whole new level of bad. That's atrocious. Again, multi-million-dollar company. Can't walk, can't animate a walking cycle. Pacing cycle. Can't animate someone pacing back and forth. Meanwhile, Last of Us 2 over here. Fucking shirt physics. Fucking hell. Not even shirt physics, just animated. It's just animated. Oleana begs us to stop what Rose is doing, as she didn't really know what he was planning, so we head on down to see Hop standing alone in front of what looks like... Well, something broke out of a big sphere. That much is obvious, I guess. And forget what I said about Hop being alone here. Chairman Rose teleports in just because, fuck man, it's not like the fine Lactia game should have some polish in it. Nah, just zap him into existence when we get close enough. Chairman Rose tells us that the previous incident around Hammerlock was to test to see if they could awaken Eternatus, who would in fact bring around the darkest day. Really glad he told me that. I'd forgotten because it was glossed over with a fucking JPEG! Of course we battle him and he brings with him a full steel team. Great. Could really use a fire type right now. Even though I didn't really have anything to combat the steel types, I managed to worm my way through them with the help from Abomination's Reflect and Beefy Boy to tank some hits here and there. Thinky also destroyed the Kling Clang as it kept using a move which hit twice, and of course I'd given Thinky a Rocky Helmet, which does damage to the opposing Pokemon each time it makes contact. Rose's last Pokemon is Copperaja, and what the fuck is that thing? Its whole body is covered up with its trunk! Whoever designed this, I mean, it's funny, sure, but the trunk just takes up too much room. I can't see what's going on behind it. Rose apologizes about plunging the world into another apocalypse, but he explains that the reason why he did it was to solve the energy crisis, which would happen in 1,000 years. Alright. Anyway, he wanted Leon to catch Eternatus so they could utilize its power to power Gala. I think I didn't really pay attention here. It was all kind of just thrown at us at once instead of naturally progressing throughout the adventure like a normal game would do it. I mean, we didn't even get to see Eternatus erupt from the sphere it was contained in. That's what I'm assuming he came from anyway. I mean, it's not like any other Pokemon game has had you see where the legendary Pokemon comes from. No, like, nothing like, you know, like Black and White maybe having a Pokemon come from an orb, or in X and Y where maybe the legendary Pokemon, it breaks out from being contained, or, I don't know, fucking Sun and Moon, maybe from a Cosmog evolving into a fucking legendary. Now, we just need to know that it broke out. Forget animating it. Also, Rose says something about Leon being a knight in shining armor. That's the third game, Pokemon Armor. And or Pokemon Armored Sword and Armored Shield. And even though it'll be 2 more of these games with minor changes, people still buy it. And I know as I'm saying this, I am currently recording when the DLC is out. But like, there's 2 versions of the DLC. Fucking go figure. Pokemon! We want your money! So we head up onto the roof and, oh shit, Eternatus is a big boyo! Leon says he's worn down Eternatus enough to catch it, so he throws a regular Pokeball at it. Dude, at least use an Ultra Ball. And fair enough, Eternatus escapes it. Even if he was at 1 HP, that he would have got out, dude. Eternatus attacks us! We throw out creepy gorilla guy. Eternatus is looking a little shrimpy there. They've shrunk him down, haven't they? How big is Eternatus? He's bigger than Wailord! 20 meters tall! That's like 2 at most! Anyway, we fight Eternatus, we can't catch him yet, so it's all just about trying to knock him out, which we do very easily thanks to Beefy Boy here. Ah, shit. Oh no, that move looks really powerful. Huh. And remind me, why can't we fight that Eternatus? That's right, it's Eternatus, not Eternatus. I messed that up. Anyway, he turns into a giant hand. A bit odd, but whatever. Hop and I worked together this time. Pistachio was feeling sleepy. This is not the time for that! So this time, the game doesn't allow us to attack until Hop finally brings out the relics. Zamazenta and Zacian appear in the slumbering world and fly, I guess, to our location. And I'll be honest here, the music here, the relics flying, it's a pretty epic moment. No, I got it. What are you doing? Stop, skip it. Hang on a second. This is the final battle. Just give me it. It skipped the entire battle. Fuck me. I guess I should just say that the game allowed me to catch it at a 100% catch chance, so no challenge there. The fight was pretty easy. I didn't get to catch Zamazenta, weirdly enough. That was the only legendary I really wanted, but I now have Eternatus. Very odd. The next day when going to the stadium to finally fight Leon, I ran into this kid that asked me for a handshake. My capture skipped through it, but here, I'll go through with my other character to show you the handshake. Yeah, come the fuck on there. Why even implement it if you're not going to animate it? Why? Just why? So we battle Leon. Unfortunately, in my notes here, it says that Beefy Boy died. Well, it doesn't. It just says, oh shit, Beefy Boy. So either he died or he got to low health. I Dynamaxed Waddles, but he didn't Gigantamax, even with the full Dynamax candy meter, which I thought was weird until I looked up that the only Pokemon to Gigantamax are the ones you catch already Gigantamaxed, which, I mean, that's just bullshit. That sucks big time, especially since I couldn't even beat the 5-star rates 99% of the time thanks to NPC bullshit. And I know, again, I know about the soup. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. But Leon's team was pretty easy all that's said and done. I used Stealth Rocks early on, so when his Charizard came out, it was already half health, and I just used Eternatus' Dynamax Cannon to easily knock it out. Wait, are you allowed to use legendaries in the Nuzlocke? So my whole Gigantamaxing Waddle strategy didn't really pan out in the end all that well, but hey, we got through it with no casualties. Hey, look, Beefy Boy's fine. Leon graciously accepts his defeat, and I've just realized he has purple hair but black facial hair. That looks very odd. And I'm declared the champion. Credits roll. During them, we see a band of Pokemon, not like they're doing any custom animations or anything, they just keep repeating Gorilla Guy's attack animation over and over. Is that a mouse cursor? Another one? I pointed one out at the start of the game. It was a mistake. Holy shit, this game is fucked. Absolutely fucked. This game is one of the very best examples of a rushed, unfinished game with no clear vision or passion behind it. Just money-hungry executives pushing for that low budget and high return. And it worked. These two games have been the best-selling Switch games of all time, beating out Mario Odyssey and Zelda Breath of the Wild. Two games with amazing teams behind them, with so much passion and effort just put into every aspect of the game. And it's not like I helped. I know, I don't own either of those two, but I own this fucking bullshit. I mean, I'll get those two eventually. What many other reviewers will be saying about this game, I'm sure, is that this is just another Pokemon game. It's just another one. It's just, if you like the previous games, you'll like this one. And I don't agree. I really don't. I've played many Pokemon games, and I don't agree with that statement whatsoever. I did have fun. I will say I had fun. I'll give it that. I had fun. Even though I went into this game, I knew it was rushed. I knew it was probably going to be underwhelming. I still enjoyed myself at times. It was up until a certain point, I remember, when I think it was after the first couple gyms, I started to realize how shallow the experience really was. I'm a huge Pokemon fan, but this is not a Pokemon fan's game. It's not what we deserve. Ever since X and Y, Pokemon has started lowering its quality with each successive entry, but somehow I expected the first proper Switch game to have more content than Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee. Somehow it took away from those games. No following Pokemon, no proper scaling, no Mega Evolutions, no gym battle backgrounds. Sword and Shield are so lazily... I shouldn't say lazily, especially if it was the intention. They are intentionally put together cheaply. Game Freak, as a company, a lot of people say, oh, they can't do this, they can't do that, they're not very good at coding games. They could hire anyone they want. The Pokemon Company is so much money, like, so much. And they don't even have a budget bigger than the average Call of Duty game. Someone up in the top ranks and a top dog up there has chosen intentionally to make this game as cheaply as possible. And that really hurts as a Pokemon fan. Especially someone who puts in so much time and gives so much money to this company. We come to Nintendo because of their quality. We come to Nintendo because they deliver an amazing, passion-filled experience every single time. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Fire Emblem. Speaking of Super Smash Bros., the biggest Smash Bros. Game of all time. Can you say that this is the biggest Pokemon experience of all time? Of course you can't. Who do I care that it's on the floor? This left me extremely disappointed. Game Freak has given me one of my favorite games of all time. Pokemon Black and White is right up there with Sonic Heroes and Final Fantasy X-2. Those are weird choices for favorite games, I know, but they're right up there alongside them. Game Freak has given me Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Fire Red, Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon Heart Gold, you know, and they're all great experiences, but if this is what we're getting from Pokemon in the future, less content than a GBA cartridge, I really think I'm done with Pokemon for the foreseeable future. I don't know who's calling the shots over there. It's probably someone higher up in the Pokemon company, but even if it's not Game Freak, I don't want them making Pokemon games anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I know that's not gonna happen. It's effectively their brand. They've been doing Pokemon games for years, but let's be honest, they can't effectively make a 3D Pokemon game. They did great when it was 2D, but now that it's changed to 3D, everything has just gone downhill. They can't even copy and paste an animation correctly. They can't just... The render distance. I shouldn't have to say anything past that, the render distance. Not to mention all the lies especially, that's what got to me. They didn't redo any models, they didn't focus on better animations, they didn't want people to play the way they wanted to, hence the XP share. They didn't make these games the best Pokemon games yet. We should have all really known how this was going to go when we found out you could transfer Pokemon between Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go, and the only Pokemon you couldn't transfer was Mew, which you had to buy with the Pokeball accessory for $50. That should have clicked in people's heads that the only intention that was there for was to get money. It was. There's the Pokeball Plus accessory doesn't even work with this fucking game. Or at least it doesn't say it does on the back of this box. I don't have the Pokeball Plus. I'm not paying $50 for a fucking accessory for one game. It's just so scummy. I still can't believe they did that. It'd be like them saying, hey guys, we've patched Pokemon Sword and Shield and now you can transfer over all your old Pokemon, but you gotta buy a subscription to do it. You gotta buy that subscription. You probably thought we were done. We ain't done with this. We ain't done with this garbage yet. We still got that in-game. That sweet, sweet in-game. Oh boy, can't wait to play it. What do we got? What's up next?